Yes. This is Common Denominator back. Doing my final video for today. Or my final audio show for today, I should say. This is a topic I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I'm glad I finally got around to doing it. The Black American Vortex. What is it? We're going to get into that right now. The Black American Vortex represents the thought police, the oppressors, the oppressive regime of collective thought that prevents Black Americans from being themselves. Prevents Black Americans from expressing themselves as they choose to, as individuals, virtually locking them in a prison of ideas and thoughts, boundaries created by other people that suit other people's interests. My question is, who makes the rules? And how can we change them? I mean, can I petition? Is there a ballot box somewhere? Maybe there's an online poll. My question I want you to think about is, what does freedom mean to you as an African American? Or even if you're not African American, you're listening to this, if this is something that affects your ethnicity, your society as well, what does freedom mean to you? Does freedom have limits? I remember I was watching a video where, and I mentioned this before in another show, where there's a black guy out of New York who was doing a show on Black society, and he talked about how Black society is a fascist. It's like a fascist state, a fascist nation. Everyone must do everything together in lockstep. Okay, everything has to be done together in lockstep. There's no individuality, no freedom, very little freedom. And if you really think about it, we are clones, complete clones of each other. Everybody's a clone. Dress, everything. Just look around, just see for yourself. The way people, everything, the way people speak, complete clones. Now I know that this is a problem in some other races too, but what I'm saying is within our group, it's completely fascist. It's like people are saying, this is what black is. Take it or leave it. That's why I asked the question, what does freedom mean to you? Why is it okay for hood rats and hood roaches to be themselves? Look at all the crazy stuff they do and they get away with. Any type of fashion they want to wear, they wear it. Any type of music they want to play, they play it. And any type of music they want to make, they make it. It almost seems like they have complete freedom, even though it's dysfunction. But does freedom stop there with them? What about the rest of us in the African American community? Maybe it's because hood rats and hood roaches make the rules. Would that be fair to say? Dr. Thomas Sowell, who I recently spoke about and did a video on, Black Rednecks, and he has a book called Black Rednecks and White Liberals. He discusses how ghetto gangster black culture attempts to dictate to the rest of black America and absorb it into its dysfunction, and even tell other blacks who choose not to be a part of their dysfunction that they're not acting black enough. And this is the mechanism. This is the mechanism of control. Could it be because people are afraid of these loudmouth, dangerous, violent, hood rats and hood roaches? Could people be afraid? And I think the answer is yes. People are afraid of them, and not just of them, but people are afraid to be ostracized, to be removed from society. But if enough people are removed from their ranks, I mean, technically, you should remove yourself. You shouldn't even be amongst that. You should be removing yourself. I removed myself. And I came to find out there were a lot more people like me. And I joined ranks with them. And this is why I'm speaking today on this topic. Could it be that those who police the culture, the hood rats and the hood roaches, that they're the ones in need of policing themselves? I mean, look around. I've heard and I've seen some people in my comments talk about, this is why I left Blackistan, and funny how they said Blackistan, and we know the stands, that area in West Asia, Pakistan, Afghanistan, to be very oppressive, not just to women, but to everybody. Very oppressive culture. So Blackistan would fit right in there. And Black America would be right at home in those cultures. People in the black community are feeling oppressed by the hood element. There are a lot of people who don't want to be hood. And I talked about this in a video I did with dating. There are guys who don't fit in. They're not thugs. They don't want to be thugs. They don't want to date hood rats. And they are oppressed, abused verbally, emotionally, physically abused, beat up by hood rats and hood roaches. Just because they don't want to espouse the same value system that the hood rats and hood roaches have. People feel like they can't breathe and just be themselves, and I think that's a problem. I think this is a symptom of being in an oppressed society. But in this case, we have African Americans who left slavery, escaped Jim Crow into a new Jim Crow era, but a less oppressive Jim Crow era. But Jim Crow nonetheless. And now we're being oppressed from within by the hood rats and the hood roaches. And those who ally with them, those who are intelligent people, those who have degrees, but because they want to fit in and they don't want to be ostracized, they continue to serve the hood rats and hood roaches. How do they serve them? They serve them by acquiescing to their ideas, to their fashion, and not calling them out on their foolishness and their dysfunction. This is how they acquiesce. This is how they bow down. There are people, I have friends who tell me this, they just want to live life, take part in activities and do things that make them happy. This is what freedom means. And this is why it's so important that we understand the black vortex, This black hole that sucks everything towards it, ripping it to shreds in the process. This is what the black hole is. This is what the black vortex is. And this is how African American society operates. This is going to be my first installment of the Black American Vortex. I have lots more coming. I've been thinking about a whole series. I might just continue the series back to back. But this first one is on thought police, oppressive nation. Did a video 2 years ago. My first video on the channel. Go check it out. It's about 45 minutes. It's a great video. I have some interviews in there. Michelle Obama, when she was younger, growing up in Chicago, there were people, the hood rats and hood roaches that grew up around her, who would tell her she sounded funny, that she sounded like a white girl. Now, those of you listening to my channel, listening to this right now, you know and I know that Michelle Obama sounds like an educated black woman, and thank God for her. But see, to the hood rats and hood roaches, like I said in another video where I talked about Ebonics and different things like that, anything that doesn't sound like Ebonics to them, anything where you're not intentionally destroying your English and trying to sound like a thug or a gangster or a hood rat or a hood roach or like a slave, okay? Anything that doesn't sound like that is automatically white. That's how it works with the hood rats and hood roaches. If you haven't noticed, pay attention. I'm calling them out. All right, in finale, I feel there are people who want to be themselves. They want to experiment. They want to enjoy life. They want to understand what freedom really is. And they still want to be black while doing it. It's not that people are trying to not be black or trying. They just don't want to be hood rats and hood roaches, and hood rats and hood roaches need to understand this. They just don't want to be like you. They want to be productive, respectable, black members of society. Okay? That's exactly what they want to do. They want to be free. They want to be themselves. And I want to leave a message. I want to send out a message to the people who are listening to this and who may be struggling with this, concepts of this. It is okay to be yourself. It is okay to do what you feel you want to do. Be yourself. You only live once. You only live once. Don't let anyone take that from you. I used to be trapped in this mentality, this black vortex. I was sucked in. It was pulling me backwards. And when I became a man, I decided that I had enough and I broke free. If I choose to speak Ebonics, I speak it. But until then, I'm going to speak English because I went to school. I do as I please, and I am who I want to be. And because of that, I'm a better, and I'm a happier person. Be free. Find yourself. Common denominator.